Hi, and welcome today to Lara Oyedele, who's currently Chair of Hope Housing. Lara joins us as one of the three candidates who have been shortlisted for this year's election to become Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Housing. Hi, Lara.
Hi, Laura. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Thank you for having
Good.
me.
You're welcome. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about your background and your journey into housing?
Yes, I had a very interesting journey into the profession of social housing. I mean, I grew up in council housing, but I didn't think it was a thing at the time. It was just where I grew up. It didn't mean anything to me. It's just like, this is our house, the council owned it, and we grew up. And then I got to the age where I left home, moved into a bedsit as a teenager, and I went away on a holiday, came back from holiday and found that my landlord had evicted me. And I know that that was an illegal eviction, but at the time I didn't know any better. I just thought, well, the man's evicted me, it's his house, I don't have any right, and I became homeless. So I experienced homelessness. I think I was about 19 or 20 at the time. So I was homeless, I had nowhere to go. I was an unusual homeless person in the respect that I had 3 part-time jobs. So I was working, I had a cleaning job in the morning. I worked in an office in the afternoon. That office, this is going to make you laugh, was actually a housing office. So I was working as a housing assistant in an office in the afternoon for like 4 hours. And then in the evening, I worked in the post office as a sorter. So I was homeless and I did sleep rough, but I was able, in between those 3 jobs, to more or less, more often than not, find somewhere to sleep. So I slept in the office when nobody was there, and I slept. This is the office where I cleaned, and I slept in the bay where the post office vans used to go from. And I did the bench and all sorts of random places and friends' sofas for a couple of nights. So I had that experience, and eventually I was given a council flat. It was in the worst block known to mankind, but it was my flat, my front door, 2 bedrooms, and I was totally grateful for that. And it's that experience that made me decide, after I went to university, to choose specifically to work in social housing. And I'd always had a bit of a fondness for property, but I chose not to become an estate agent or a property developer. I thought, I want to give other people the kind of safety, the opportunity, the feeling of joy that I have been handed those keys. I wanted to be part of making that happen for someone else. So that's why, after my first degree, I went to do the Masters in Housing at the LSE, which was specifically to get into the social housing world, and that's how I got my housing.
Great.
That's my history.
That's your history. Great. And I'd be interested to know a bit about why you would like to be Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Housing.
Well, the short answer is why not?
Yeah.
I was, I don't know what I was doing, and it just came up on Twitter or LinkedIn. I was like, oh my God, I can do that. Why not? And so I looked into the requirements. I thought, well, maybe the time is right. I voted as many times as I can remember as a member, and it never crossed my mind that it's something that I could do or even wanted to do. So I think maybe just the time was right. I think I'm old enough and confident enough and have a bit of a wider understanding of the housing world, because I have a buy-to-let property portfolio. I feel like I have, how can I put it? I can marry the different aspects of housing, because social housing doesn't exist in a vacuum. And what happens in the private sector housing influences what happens with the government and social housing. So so I thought, well, the time now is mine. I wouldn't mind being a trendsetter to be the first Black female. There's nothing wrong with that. And also because I spent many years arguing for and campaigning in favour of social housing in an individual capacity, just because I'm passionate about it. I thought I might as well do it in a professional role. So not much will change, except that I'll have a label behind me saying, yeah, this is why I'm arguing for the sector. So I have been supporting the sector for many years and campaigning in favour of the sector. So this will give me an opportunity to do it with a professional title.
Great, okay, thank you. And the last question, if you are successful, what will drive you through your vice presidency and then subsequently into the presidency?
I'm not sure I understand that question. You say what will drive me, as in energy or passion?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, what will drive you, what will be your focus,
Okay.
what will keep you going, what will you want to achieve through that, I guess?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things I want to achieve. The first one is actually something that came out of the short time that we've been campaigning, which is to increase the membership.
Yeah.
I think for the size of the sector that we work in, it's appalling, I think it is, that we only have, according to what I could find, 17,000 members. It may be slightly more or less. But the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors have 100,000. And if you think of how many housing associations are out there that have 4,000 or 5,000 staff, we should have a lot more than that. And a lot of people I assumed in the sector were members. I said, will you vote for me? Will you vote for me? He said, I would, but I'm not a member. And I'm like, why are you not a member? You should be a member. So when I do join, all those people, I'll be knocking on their doors and forcing them to join. And for those that run organisations, I will see if we can organise something where organisations pay for their staff to join, because the irony I've noticed is that the junior staff, who probably need it the most, cannot afford to pay for it. And the senior staff who have more money are the ones who are more likely to get it as part of their package, their professional membership fees paid. There are numbers out there, and I feel that if we have more numbers, if we have near 100,000, I don't know if I can achieve that in a year, but I'll give it a damn good try, we might be more influential when it comes to having a political voice. Because with 70,000 people, no one's going to take any notice. I have more connections than that on LinkedIn. So we're not a force to be reckoned with. The ministers only come to us when there's a conference and they know they can get some free publicity. But I don't know if they really take any notice of what we say. So that would be the thing that moves me now. When I originally thought of joining, of campaigning, I had lots of other ideas, which were, it's about campaigning and influencing the government. But then I realised we can't do that if there's only 17,000 of us.
Okay, great. Thank you, Lara. So that was all of the questions today. So that it just leaves me to say good luck with the election, and thank you again for your time today.
All right then. Thank you so much, Laura.